guys, welcome to the channel. A lot of people always talk about growing enough food for their family, but how much food is actually enough? Can we actually grow enough food in our small average garden to support our family? Well, this is what I'm here to find out. I've decided to basically put myself to the test and see how much food I can truly grow in the garden. And I'm not talking about growing tons and tons of potatoes. I'm not talking about living off the land, because it's practically not possible with my size of the garden, but the challenge is to find out how much food can we actually produce. And I know it's going to be challenging, okay? It's going to be a lot of planning, a lot of successional planting, but the challenge is there, and hope you can join me on that challenge as well. See, on average as people, we require approximately 400 to 500 kilos of food per year. This is talking about totally self-sufficient. Of course, in my space, it is absolutely not possible, but my challenge would be to at least try and grow between 100 and 150 kilos of food. Yes, a lot of planning, absolutely. And of course, we're hoping for some decent weather, but the point is I'm going to give it a damn good go. The point is as well, I'm going to be documenting this, okay? I'm going to be documenting by weight, how much of the food I'm growing. Of course, there's going to be financial things. I'm going to calculate how much money I'm technically saving if I were to buy this food in the supermarket. And of course, at the same time, I'm going to be documenting the meals I'm making with the food. You see, it's important to understand that the food that we're growing is not going to be enough to make sure that I have, full meal made of my fresh grown produce. But the point is, I want to make sure at least the majority of the food that's on my plate is coming from my garden rather than supermarket. See, we all know that the quality of food in the supermarket is absolutely atrocious, and it's getting far, far worse. And of course, with the predictions of having some food insecurities and food shortages, I think it's more important than ever to be able to grow your own food. So I do hope, guys, you can be joining me on the challenge of growing as much food as possible this year. So the space I have to work with, okay, hear me, I have approximately 22.5 square meters of growing space. It's not a lot. This is pretty much what you can see here, and I do have 2 greenhouses as well, 6 by 8 foot. See, greenhouses space is not all occupied with the growing space. Only one of them got some raised beds, but the point is, altogether as an average, I probably have approximately 30 square meters, which is not a lot, and I'm pretty sure I have my work cut out, but I'm gonna give it a damn good go. So to help me to get to my target of 100 to 150 kilos of food, I do need to kind of plan this strategically and thinking, of course, of the foods they're going to be yielding as the weight, but at the same time going to be yielding me the fresh food and the food that I can preserve. So we're talking about the tomatoes. Say last year I've grown approximately 50 kilos of tomatoes. I made loads of sauces, I froze them, and we ate them fresh. This year I'm aiming for the same, if not more. So to yield us that approximate amount of tomatoes, we need probably between 15 and 20 tomato plants. Of course, I have a little bit more, but it's all, of course, depending on the weather and how things are going to go. But 15 to 20 tomato plants, this is my starting point. The next one we're talking about is beans. The runner beans, French beans, all kind of beans. I'm currently growing 5 different varieties of beans, and I'm going to be planting them successionally again. We're talking about the dry beans. I've got the cannellini beans. They're going to be growing for the dry beans. And then I have the French beans and the runner beans that are going to be, of course, growing for the fresh produce and for the drying as well. Again, hopefully adding on to my quantity of what we're looking for to achieve in terms of kilograms. And then things like cucumbers as well. We require approximately 20 kilos of cucumbers. This is going to be one of the hard ones. I only got I've got 4 cucumber plants in the greenhouse right now. I've got some of them in the house, on the patio, in the kitchen, but ideally I need about 10 cucumber plants. I've got some extra planted and they'll be going out outside. The next thing, of course, we're talking about the courgettes, pumpkins, squashes, those kind of things. I will need approximately 20 to 25 kilos, ideally more, to get to my rough target. So that means I need to have approximately 6 or 7 courgette plants and another 3 or 4 of the pumpkins or different varieties of squashes, which I do have. And I have planted some extra ones. Some of them are meant to be eaten fresh, and some are better to be harvested to put away for a winter. And then, of course, we're talking about the herbs, radishes, and everyday things that we'll be consuming. This is going to require constant planting out, like constant successional seeding. Like I said, with the radishes, I have about 5 different areas. They're all at different stages. This way, that means that we're not leaving our beds empty. So next one is salads, right? So to be self-sufficient in salads, I've calculated I need approximately 100 plants. Okay, we're talking about the lettuce plants or whatever mixture of the salads leaves that you're growing, but The most important thing is not to plant them all together, because when you put 100 together, it does sound like quite a lot. But the whole idea is, because lettuce does bolt, of course, especially now we're getting into the warmer times, you have to plant them successionally. So 100 plants, again, sounds like a lot, but it's not. We're talking about seeding literally every few plants, maybe 6 every couple of weeks. That hopefully going to be yielding me enough lettuce. Yes, of course, it's not going to be giving me a lot of the weight per, per what it is that we're getting, but the point is, it's going to give me meals. It's going to give a good substitution to the salad, the stuff I don't have to buy. And of course, I'm not just talking about the lettuce leaf or general salad leaves. We're talking about things like a spinach, things like rocket, anything's green, anything fresh. And a lot of the cases, like rocket, is actually rather expensive. So that's hopefully going to be saving me quite a lot of money during the summer. So let's talking about the using of space. It is so important in this instance to make sure that the beds never sit empty. We're talking about every single space that I'm going to be having, I'm going to be putting something there. If stuff's already grown and I know it's going to be coming out, the whole idea is to plan ahead and basically have seedlings or small plants waiting in a greenhouse or on a staging to go in the ground. So I have 2 beds in here. Both of them are 2.1 meters long by 1.4 wide. This one has 8 tomato plants. It is currently, you've got radishes in the middle and it has a lettuce that's planted on the outside. So basically, by the time the tomatoes are established, which are going to be towards the end of the summer, I should be able to harvest at least 2 lots of lettuces and probably 3 or 4 loads of radishes. On the trailing here, I do have the grapes, but I'm going to be putting one of those climbing courgettes. I think it's like trombone looking courgette or something that is really good for the long-term storage. It does require quite a sturdy support, which that's going to give it. So the idea is I'm trying to fill the beds and try to rotate the crops, the ones that grow fast enough, and then of course also use the structures for my advantage to grow different things. On the other side here of the bed, I've got some potatoes that are currently in the ground, and I did tell you that I'm not really intending to grow too many potatoes because it's not something that we consume fairly regularly. Yes, it will give me a lot of kilos, it gives a lot of cups, but this is not the idea. The idea is to make sure that I grow what we eat as a family. And potatoes are rather cheap as well, but some of them in the ground, they're not doing that great, but they are growing. Next to the, I've got some carrots. I've got carrots and I've got some herbs and I've got some beetroot. All of that will be rotated yet again. I'll have some chard in the back. After this stuff comes out, I'm going to be planting another lot of carrots or probably beetroot as well. And I'm going to be planting the cucumbers along the side of the greenhouse. So guys, in these beds here, I've got myself the Australian tree cabbage. This is absolutely massive. Each leaves approximately weighs like 150 to 200 grams, which is great. Those guys are going to grow through the summer and all the way to the winter. Behind me here, I've got a lot of broad beans, which are doing a-okay, but after they're finished, this is going to be my leeks bed. Again, there's a whole idea of constantly changing the vegetables you put in the beds, so the beds never sit empty. So those 2 beds, guys, are going to be quite the big ones in terms of trying to yield in me the weight that I need. As you can see, I've got the big arch behind me. The whole idea is that arch is going to be filled with the beans. On one side, I'm going to be having the runner beans. On the outside are going to be having the French beans. Well, the whole idea is those beans are going to be growing upwards over the arch and then hanging down. I'm expecting to yield quite a lot of beans. I've got about 25 of the runner beans planted on one side, and I've got another probably 40 of different kind of beans, French beans, different bush beans, going to be going on the other side and on the little obelisk there as well. See, on that side here right now, I have some radishes, I've got some lettuce seeded, and I have some spinach, and I do have some volunteer potatoes with a little bit of broad beans there at the back. So once they're done, they're going to be coming out. I'm going to be putting a couple of tomato plants, and I'm going to be putting the courgette and some sort of pumpkin on another obelisk in that side. Right on the other side right now, I have some lettuce, I have some beetroot, I've got some peas that are a little bit slow to start, and I also do have a little bit more of the potatoes. After they're finished, I'm going to be harvesting the front lettuces, radishes, and I'm going to be putting some more tomatoes and some more sort of courgette or something else in its place. As you can see, the idea is the constant rotation, okay? And I've done this before, but it is going to be challenging, okay? And I do hope that you guys are going to take on the challenge with me. So this is my final grown space, which is the second greenhouse. As you can see, I've got baskets of hanging tomatoes, which are pretty much ready to go outside. They're flowering, they're great. I've got a few of them available. I also have a smaller version of tomatoes, the same ones already in the greenhouse waiting to go. So basically what my idea is to get those guys out, put them on the patio, hang them basically out there, and I'm going to put the younger ones here to develop. So again, having that, hopefully the successional planting of the tomatoes going to give me hopefully a longer growing period. So on the floor as well here, I've got myself a lot of the tomato plants currently underplanted with the lettuces, radishes, spinach, and I've got some mizuna, and I think another beetroot or something else, and I've got some courgettes in the back as well waiting to go out. So this is my kind of one of the main areas in the greenhouse that are going to be growing tomatoes, and hopefully again getting a really good yield. So hopefully guys, you're going to be joining me on this journey to semi self-sufficiency. So this is going to be a series. I'm going to be trying to do this once a week. I'm going to be calling them probably like resilience garden series. The point is as well, right, every week I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a challenge just to achieve something. The goal is to basically try to be less dependent on the supermarkets and produce as much of our food as we can. So the challenge this week, guys, is find yourself a goal, or set yourself a goal or the plan. Whether it's to be, maybe decide to be self-sufficient in lettuce, or maybe it's to grow yourself a 10 kilos of specific produce, or genuinely 10 kilos of food, or maybe it could be something as simple as just buy yourself a pot and fill it with soil and decide what you're going to be planting in it. See, every week when I do those videos, I'm going to be A, giving you a challenge, and B, I'm going to be keeping the tally of the foods, okay? I'm going to be keeping the tally of how much food in terms of the kilograms, how much money I've saved, which won't be a lot at the moment because it's mainly salad and radishes, but also going to tell you how many meals been substituted or helped with my fresh growing produce. Anyway, I really do hope, guys, you're going to be joining me and actually doing something so we can better our food life, let's call it that way. Please also comment down below if you changing things this year, whether you're making any specific effort or challenging yourself to something, because I think it is really important. Anyhow, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any further episodes. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.